Hi everyone, welcome to another video, and in today's review we'll look at another Netflix figure in the War for Cybertron Trilogy, and it's Red Alert. So this one is a repaint of the existing Siege Red Alert. So as we always do, let's just move the figure to one side and take a quick look at the packaging. As it's a Netflix figure, there's not really much to write home about with the packaging. As you can see, we've got his name on the front there and the War for Cybertron Trilogy logo. On the side we've got a piece of artwork showing Red Alert wielding his weapon there, and you can see he's been drawn there with sideswipe style horns on his head, whereas the actual figure is more to an accurate Red Alert head. If we turn it around to the back, you'll see some more differences. If we look at the product photos, you can see that the paint apps are a lot different than they are on the finished model. He's showing him with silver feet that are heavily weathered, whereas the actual figure's got brown feet, which we'll come to in a second. It's also showing him with red biceps, and the actual figure doesn't have red biceps. And overall, just the paint is ever so slightly different. Transforms in 17 steps, exactly the same way as Sideswipe. On this side, we've got that really cool piece of artwork done in the red and black monochrome style and the Netflix logo up there. And that's about it for the packaging. As usual with the Netflix figures, it comes with a piece of card section that can be put together with the other ones to create a bit of a diorama for Teletran 1. But other than that, not much else. So let's get the packaging out of the way and we'll take a proper look at the figure. And here we are with Red Alert out of the packaging, and as you can see, it is a repaint of the existing Siege figure, and in terms of paint, it has actually been slathered in paint. We'll start off by just taking a look at the accessory that he comes with. So he comes with a unique weapon. It's not just a copy of Sideswipe's weapon, so it can be used as a blaster rifle, or you can actually take the light bar off his back, and apparently it's supposed to be a particle circuit welder or something like that, but the artwork does show him wielding it like a hammer. So you know, you can have it however you want, but I'll just put the light bar back on the back for now. So if we're taking a look at the figure, start off with a quick 360. As you can see, it is a repaint of the existing Siege Red Alert figure, and the paint has been heavily applied. We've got quite a glossy white paint finish here on the front and also on the upper arms. The arms are done in a creamy style plastic rather than white. We've got some blue there on the knees, and we've got some light weathering up on the shins. The feet are done in a glossy brown, and again we've got that gloss white paint across the figure, but it's weathered heavily towards the rear of the vehicle and also towards the rear of the hood or the bonnet. There's also a large patch of weathering here as well, and as you can see, it's vastly different than the Siege Red Alert. We've also got a nice fake crack on the windshield there, but it looks good, especially when you transform it. It is, like I said, covered in paint, but it's not blotchy in any way. We don't have any silver for the lights like we do on the Siege version, so that's a bit of a shame, but all in all it's not bad, especially for a repaint. In terms of articulation, it's the same as Siege Red Alert and Siege Sideswipe. We've got a full 360 on the arm there. We can lift the arm all the way out to here. The joints are nice and tight, by the way. Full 360 at the bicep, and we've got the wrist can fold in to about there, but it don't go any further, but you'll see that as part of the transformation in a moment. We've got a full waist rotation, which is again part of the transformation. Good kick forward on the legs, and we've got a good kick backwards, and we can kick to the side. We do have a rotation on the leg, but it's a little bit awkward as the way the joint is working. Knee bend just slightly past 90 degrees, and we've got that ankle tilt as per usual. Head is on a ball joint with an excellent range of movement, up and down, left and right tilt, and full 360. So again, I'll just give it another quick view before we get it transformed. You can see that there's brown plastic here, or actually brown paint with a bit of red on the back there, and then we've just got the white on the front. Got the light bar on the back there. It's a bit of a darker translucent red than it's showing on the product photos. We've got that fake crack just on the windshield there, that's been painted on. So don't worry if you get it out of the packet and you think it's cracked, it isn't actually cracked. And we'll look at the wheels when it's transformed. In terms of transformation, very simple. It's exactly the same as Siege Sideswipe and Siege Red Alert. So the first thing you want to do is just fold the arms up like this, and then just hinge them outwards. And then the next thing we want to do is just move the head forward ever so slightly, and then fold this entire section up like that until it's firmly in place. And then we're going to open up these doors, and then the wrists don't go all the way in, they go to about there. So just fold in the wrists, and then you can bring the arms down and just fold them in, keeping that arm straight, just fold them into the body like that. Again with this one, just bring it down and fold it in, keep that door open. And then we're going to come down to the legs, so you want to make sure the ankles are flat. And we're going to open up these sections on the legs, on the front of the shins, fold in the feet. You need to make sure that the feet are flat for this. And then we're going to put the legs together, just tab them together, rotate the entire waist section, and then this whole lower section of the legs is going to fold all the way around and tuck in like that. And we're going to come back around and close up the legs, securing that in place. So it's this tab here into this hole. Just fold that in, and then the last thing we need to do is close the doors and then just bring this section down, which we should have done earlier actually. And there we are with Red Alert transformed into his Cybertronian Lamborghini style car. Very nice looking alt mode. The way the paint's been done, you can see it a lot better in the vehicle mode. You can see that it's a full glossy white at the front, and then towards the back of the hood or the bonnet it's worn, and it's actually just the way it's been painted. Looking at the back again, we've got that weathering at the back, whereas it's a really nice glossy white here, but it fades towards the back. The back there, you can see a little bit of fading on the paint. There's a small paint chip there on mine. Wheels are done in a really nice red with some nice sculpted details in on the wheels there. We've got red across the sides, and then we've got a little bit of that brown coloration there. Looking at the front, we've got that fake crack, and then we've got the nice Autobot symbol and the Cybertronian language, which I might be wrong about this, but I'm sure it says Fire Chief in Cybertronian, but if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just taking a wild guess on that one. But just giving it a quick 360. A very nice looking alt mode. And you can, if you want, take the blaster rifle and you can peg it onto the side here, or you can remove the light bar from the top and just stick it on the top, but I think it looks good just like this. Rolls quite nicely, just like Sideswipe as well. So yeah, all in all, it is a repaint, but it's a nice looking alt mode, and it does look a little bit better for me than the plain old white Siege Red Alert, although I must admit I'm not 100% convinced by this crack. It's painted quite nicely, but I just think it takes something away from the look. I think the weathering is enough for it to be different. But yeah, a nice looking alt mode. So what I'm going to do now is I'll get it paused up back into robot mode, and I'll see you in a second. And here we are with Red Alert transformed back up into his robot mode, and I've also brought in his good friend Inferno and also Sideswipe for some comparison. So you can see that he does scale quite nicely with the rest of the figures. Overall, I do think it's a nice figure. Yes, it is a repaint. Was it a necessary repaint? Who knows? But he does look more accurate towards the Netflix cartoon than the Siege figure does, so I suppose that is a good thing. Thankfully, if we just take a closer look, it does come with the correct style head rather than the one that we saw on the product photos and on the artwork, which had the Sideswipe style horns. If you just bring in Sideswipe there. Yeah, so I think they've done a good job with the head, and having it in the slightly darker red, I think helps set off the silver faceplate and the blue eyes a little bit more. As I said earlier in the review, it is quite heavily painted, but thankfully it's not slathered in paint. I don't have any paint pooling anywhere or any paint run that I can see on this figure. It would be nice if the biceps were red like we saw in the product photos, and the feet that were weathered rather than just the plain brown, but overall it is still a nice figure, and I'm glad I've picked it up. Whether it's worth the extra money that you pay for the Netflix figures, I'm not 100% sure. I'll leave that for you to decide. Let me know in the comments if you've got Siege Red Alert or if you picked up this Netflix Red Alert. I'd be keen to know what you think. If you enjoyed the video, remember to give it a thumbs up. Let me know that you enjoyed it. And if you didn't like the video, rather than give it a thumbs down, as I've said in other reviews, just head down to the comment section and leave me a comment. Let me know what you didn't like. In the end, that will help me make better videos if I know what I'm doing wrong, because I am still fairly new at this. If you're not subscribed to the channel, remember to hit the button, press the bell notification so you'll get notified when I upload new reviews. I've got loads coming up on the way. I've got Studio Series Hot Rod and Cup, as I've mentioned previously. I've got some Beast Wars figures, Kingdom Cyclonus, and also a couple of Siege figures which I haven't got around to reviewing yet. So looking forward to getting those done. I'll leave it there. All that's left to say is thank you very much for watching as always. I do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.